A guy, RIP 800 TJ, he was on Instagram Live taking somebody's gun. And then a day later, we saw people saying RIP to 800 TJ. The gun that he took belonged to this man that's sitting in front of us right now, G. Kane.
Although Kane must have realised that this question was going to come up, he clearly struggled answering it before giving one of the most unconvincing condolences in history, while his friends on the couch looked so uncomfortable that you could cut the tension with a knife.
So how did that situation happen, from your perspective, bro, when he took the gun?
I ain't even gonna lie. It was, R.I.P. folks. Ain't no wrong with that, folks.
Then in summer 2025, the facade would come crashing down, as the local news would report how G. Kane, real name Tyler Perkins, and another man named Demetrius Shields were arrested and charged with TJ's murder, with the police using videos that Kane himself had posted online immediately before and after the murder to prove that he had been in the same type of vehicle as the one driven by the suspects, while holding the same type of weapon as used by the shooter. And of course, all the videos that Kane had posted in the days, weeks, and months following the murder would show that he had a clear motive, as well as showing him clearly implying that he had been the trigger man. Funnily enough, the police would even use Kane's social media to catch him, as they would see that he was at a hotel in Houston and send the local police to arrest him. Right now, things are not looking good for G. Kane, but if the prosecution's evidence is only based on social media posts, then it's not impossible to imagine how a good lawyer could be able to beat the case, and only time will tell what ultimately happens to him. But while a rapper shooting their fan by themselves is incredibly personal, there's other rappers who have inadvertently brought about the deaths of their fans simply by inviting them to a concert and disregarding their safety. And one of the earliest examples of this is of course none other than the Diddler. Long before the parties and the scandals, P. Diddy, or Puff Daddy, was just a 22-year-old hustler trying to make a name for himself in the world of hip-hop. But one of his first major events would end in tragedy, setting a deadly precedent that the industry would seemingly never learn from. On December the 28th, 1991, Diddy co-promoted what was billed as the Heavy D and Puff Daddy celebrity charity basketball game at the City College of New York's Holman Gymnasium in Harlem. The lineup was stacked with some of the biggest rappers and singers of the time: Heavy D, Run DMC, Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Big Daddy Kane, as well as other celebrities like Mike Tyson, who were all set to ball out for a good E, would allegedly oversell the event with nearly 5,000 people trying to cram into the venue. After the event was heavily promoted on the popular Kiss FM radio channel. On the day of the planned celebrity game, crowds would begin forming outside the gymnasium already several hours before the start of the event, which would surprise the security personnel who weren't expecting such a large number of people. At first, everything seemed to be going relatively smoothly, despite the number of people trying to enter the gym far exceeding what the organizers anticipated. However, things would begin to unravel fast when celebrities began arriving at the event, with the arrival of Mike Tyson and LL Cool J bringing the crowd to a frenzy, as Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, would later describe to DJ Vlad during an interview.
I did a walk around, so I walked around the top of the floor, went down the steps and went in the gym, and then came across the gym, and I seen that you can go up the steps and be right there at the front door. So everybody was coming in. You seen Dougie Fresh, Red Alert, they was on the mic. People start coming in and everything. It was cool. And then when LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up, that must have went pandemonium.
The crowd would begin to push towards the entrance, soon overwhelming the security and gaining entrance to the gym. Unfortunately,
for him to be a victim to the same violence that he's advocating against, that's just heartbreaking.
Gillie the King is a rapper turned podcaster turned philanthropist. He and his $1 million worth of game podcast partner Wallow also helped give away millions of dollars to support local businesses, and both were awarded the key to the city.
Gillie and Wallow have become the unofficial mayors of the city of Philadelphia. How about that, right? They are the voice of the youth.
Soon after, the news about Cheese's passing would reach the people close to him, and Wallow would post a heartfelt message to Cheese's father Gillie on Instagram, telling him how he was going to look after Gillie on behalf of Cheese. Later, on an episode of $1 million worth of game, Wallow would actually open up about having to personally tell Gillie the tragic news of his son's passing.
One of the hardest things I ever had to do was tell Cuz that Cheese ain't gonna be here no more. I said, Cheese got shot? No, I'm not thinking about it. I never think I was in the bathroom. Yo, not gonna do it. Yo, man, his head was down like, man, Cheese got. I said, what? I said, I told him what happened. He said, no, I'm gonna check into it right now and see what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. You know, once I hung up, he called me back and said, don't put Gil on the phone no more. I said, all right, so we driving. He tell me on the phone, like, yeah, man. Boom. I said, damn. So I put my face down and I could walk out of the hospital because we in emergency. Gil seen me. I said, damn. And I'm like, I'm gonna leave, and they gonna have to tell him in the hospital because so I walk out, Gil come out, and he like, Cuz, what's up, Cuz? What's going on? What's up? Because he peeked me, put my head down. That was the worst thing I ever told him about. And I was like, man, jeez, boom. I never seen him like that. So it was like, in some type of way, I felt up because it was like, I had to tell him the worst ever. So I felt some type of way, like I wasn't that much responsible, but the fact that I told him that that's the worst ever. So when I told him that, I had to walk away and he was talking to me, telling me, so Gil just walked away, was just up. And so I was so hurt because it was like, damn, man, I told him the worst thing in the world. I did a death day the other day, trying to make a better situation. Like, geez, wasn't coming back. And he was like, I had to stay away. It was hard for me to face guys for a while, so I would keep my distance. To be like, it's up, because I appreciate you for that too.
With Gilly later opening up about the experience on the Pivot podcast, talking about the pain he went through and the need to stay strong for his family.
You know, going through all that I've went through in my life, bro, that make you forward tough, man. That really make you forward tough. So, you know.
You and son, I don't know who I deal with it for you to sacrifice your son. You should have sacrificed the and kept the boy. And kept the boy. You should have sacrificed the and kept your son, but because you want to be an Illuminati.
Some months later, in October 2023, Noah would make one of his first appearances under his Joker alter ego in the music video for his friend Quafor, a song called Fallen Angels, a song dedicated to all of their friends killed in the Philly gang wars. Noah would be included in the video wearing his signature Joker mask and holding up a gun surrounded by other strap-toting Philly gangsters. But when Noah wasn't allegedly running around killing people in his Joker mask, he would still be keeping up appearances in school, where his basketball team would tell the fans that he was a player to watch out for and that he was going to have a big junior season. Unfortunately though, only a few months later, Noah would allegedly strike again in the streets. On the 4th of March, around 3:45 p.m, 17-year-old Damon Taylor, also known as Fat Dame, had just gotten out of school day at Imhotep Charter High School. He was waiting to get on a bus with about 15 other students at the intersection of Ogons and Godfrey Avenues when two assailants would walk up to the bus stop and open fire. 5 people were hit with bullets, including 3 students who were standing outside of the bus stop, along with 2 older women who were sitting inside the bus. However, despite the high number of casualties, the attack appeared to be targeted towards Damon, who would be hit the worst. This was a gruesome hit, and his injuries would be brutal to say the least. A video would later be posted online showing panicked students at the scene, with one girl being heard saying, "His face is gone," and referring to Damon's injuries. Damon was taken to Einstein Medical Center, where he would unfortunately pass away from his injuries.
Good evening, it's Monday night. We begin with breaking news here tonight. Chopper 6 over the scene now of a deadly shooting that unfolded this afternoon on board a SEPTA bus. It happened just before 4 o'clock today. That bus coming to a stop right there at 16th and Limekiln in Ogons. Just minutes ago, Philadelphia police gave us an update, revealing that a 17-year-old is dead, the apparent target in this, and 4 other people were shot. 2 more teens and 2 women. 50 and 70 years old. This a live look at that scene right now. Those 2 women were sitting on the bus at the time. Action News reporter Katie Cacho live there when it all ended this afternoon. Katie, police say video shows 2 gunmen here.
That's exactly right, Brian. And where I'm standing is where police say around 15 to 20 people were waiting for that SEPTA bus when those shots were fired. I'm going to step out of the shot here so you can see what's behind me. As you can see, police have marked off multiple spots where they did find multiple shell casings. Now, there are multiple scenes to this shooting, and I do want to show you what another scene looks like here on the 6000 block of Limekiln Pike. You can see that SEPTA bus, and it has multiple bullet shots through those windows. Now, there are multiple victims here, and I do want to show you a list of all of the victims. Police say a 17-year-old was killed. A 17-year-old suffered a graze wound to the shoulder. A 50-year-old was on the SEPTA bus. She was shot in the arm. A 70-year-old woman was on the bus. She was shot in the head. Police say both of those women were bystanders. Police also say a 15-year-old suffered a graze wound to the back. Now, everyone is over at Einstein Medical Center recovering at this time.
Philly's infamous district attorney Larry Krasner would later be moved to tears when discussing the incident during a press briefing, promising that everyone involved would be arrested and prosecuted.
A juvenile who has now lost his life. We have a 70-year-old woman. Excuse me. We have a 70-year-old woman with a grocery cart on a bus who was struck in the head with a bullet. This is an absolute outrage. It will be solved. Those responsible will be vigorously prosecuted.
Despite Krasner's promises, this murder remains unsolved to this day, but meanwhile, people close to Damon seemingly had their suspicions, as Damon, aka Fat Dame, was allegedly associated with the Fast Break gang, who were known to beef with Noah's Whackers gang, aka the Pavement Boys. And only 2 days after Fat Dame's murder, there would be another mass shooting, this time at a bus stop located near the Northeast High School, which on the other hand is located about 2 miles away from Noah's Samuel Fells High School and partly serviced by the same bus lines. At around 3 p.m, students were waiting to get on a bus near the intersection of Rising Sun and Cotman Avenues when 3 masked assailants who had been waiting nearby in a blue Hyundai Sonata would step out and open fire, hitting 8 teens and wounding one of them critically, while a fourth suspect, a getaway driver, would wait in the car.
Tonight, Philadelphia police are urging the public take a closer look at this shocking surveillance video. Investigators say it shows the chilling moments 3 armed suspects exit a stolen car, run up to a busy bus stop frequented by high school students, and indiscriminately fire more than 30 shots into the crowd. 8 teens between the ages of 15 and 17 were wounded. One of those teens now fighting for his life.
These are individuals shooting at a crowd of kids. That's really concerning. So we need people to see that.
This shooting, the 4th involving the city's transit system, SEPTA, and the 2nd involving minors this week alone.
We're going to target every criminal code on the bus.
But for the family and friends of 17-year-old Damian Taylor, it's too little too late. The teen was shot and killed on Monday as he waited for the bus. Several others were also wounded.
Taking seriously what occurred at the news conference today, Mayor Sherrell Parker speaking on the bloodshed of the youth and the plans in the near future to implement a public safety plan for the city. Moving forward, it's an all-hands-on-deck approach as authorities continue to look for 2 more suspects.
The local news would also report, based on the court records, that the police were investigating the shooting's connection to the one that killed Fat Dame. This paperwork also revealing just how sloppy these youngsters had been, not only during the shooting, but they had seemingly aimed eyes closed into a group of innocent kids, but also during the getaway.
The NBC 10 investigators obtained court documents that detail how police narrowed in on Tucker and Bugs. The documents explain how the same stolen blue car used in the shooting was found later that evening on the 400 block of Fern Street in Alney. Detectives pulled surveillance from that immediate area, and according to the affidavit of probable cause charging Bugs, surveillance video video shows 4 men exiting the vehicle 14 minutes after the shooting. The men then entered a home on that same block. From that address, police identified Jamal Tucker as a suspect. Detectives worked with the FBI to pull cell phone data from the cell towers that serviced the shooting location and where the car was stolen and found. Court records show that investigators determined that cell phones associated with Tucker and Buggs traveled, quote, in concert to the Sunrise Avenue shooting location and the 400 block of Fern Street where the stolen car was recovered. Police won't say for certain if Wednesday's shooting was a retaliation for Monday's other SEPTA shooting. That one resulted in a 17-year-old killed and 4 others injured. But the affidavit charging Buggs details a prison phone call Buggs received the day after the shooting from his uncle, Dontaz McMillan. It says the inmate asked the other male on the line, quote, I heard about your man, you good? And the younger male states, nah, with McMillan responding, yeah, it's never easy to digest, end quote. The document goes on to say that based on the context of this phone call, it is believed that the 2 individuals on this call are discussing the homicide at 6200 Ogons Avenue. That homicide occurred on March 4th. Buggs and Tucker were arraigned Sunday morning.
Arnell Buggs will also be charged with a February 2024 murder of a 20-year-old named Christopher Dowling, also known in the streets as Chris, together with 2 other teens, none other than Aiden Waters, the Fast Break member first arrested in relation to the murder of YBC Dull, as well as a man named Ryan Purcell, better known in Philly as the Fast Break affiliated rapper LR, or Lil Ryan. The following day, the 3rd suspect was arrested, 19-year-old Jermard Carter, who is also known as a rapper by the name of Mardo and also allegedly affiliated with the Fast Break gang.
Well, here we are on one of the main roads through Philadelphia at one of the main intersections, Academy, just about 5 doors off of Woodhaven Road, and there's a 2-apartment row house here, and there you see it, 12024 Academy Road. This is where Jermard Carter's father lives, and he said he entered the door to machine guns after 4 o'clock as police came looking for their son. Sources tell me the whole family was out in the backyard enjoying a nice day at the time, and so when they were knocking at the door, no one was answering at first, and then the father did answer the door. Here is video now of Jermard Carter being taken into custody by marshals and the task force that also includes a whole lot of Philadelphia police detectives who've been looking for him for nearly a week since the Wednesday shooting. So this makes 3 of the 4 they wanted. You remember 3 shooters and a 4th getaway driver. They wanted to get all 4. So the father told me Jermard Carter just turned 18. Authorities who took him into custody say he is 19 with a birth date listed for this October 1st, born in 04, which would make him nearly 20 years old come October. Here is some of what his father had told me earlier after the arrest. What can you tell me happened with your son?
I don't know. I just came to the door and two machine guns.
You came to the door and they had machine guns in your face? What did they say to you?
They just brought me outside.
The 4th suspect, 17-year-old Asir Boone, would also be identified after he failed to turn himself in, with the Philly police offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to his arrest.
First, armed, dangerous, and on the run. U.S. Marshals release a photo and the name of the 4th and final suspect in last week's SEPTA bus stop shooting.
3 suspects are now in custody, and tonight U.S. Marshals are searching for the final suspect.
There is now an all-out search for Asir Boone. This afternoon, the U.S. Marshal Service released this photo of the 17-year-old. They say he frequents Olney, but his last